Hello, Project Wargaming here with an update. It seems only appropriate that on D-Day, the 75th anniversary today, that I have an update on my D-Day board. So what I've been doing is of course, put the Chex Hedgehogs in here. I actually bought these off of Shapeway. Just bought a ton of them. I have probably twice as much as I need, but it really didn't cost too much. And they're just kind of the resin plastic, and so they're not too bad. They are a little bit more brittle than I would like, but that's the way it goes. The other two beach obstacles that I really wanted to represent were the kind of just stakes with the teller mines, and then also the ramps, the wooden ramps. And so kind of been thinking about them a lot. I was in the store the other day, Hobby Lobby, and I actually came across these pins, which look like they would be kind of perfect for what it is. So I think they're called sequin pins. So they were cheap, bought a bunch of them. There's a little variety in size and scale, but just got a ton of them. I will probably use these also for staking in so that I can put the barbed wire around it and kind of keep it in place, and then also just represent the stakes holding the barbed wire in place. But these are really simple. So all I do is just take them and then just kind of stab them into the territory. Just use a little hammer. They're almost as hard as nails. So just hold them with a piece of needle nose pliers and just nail them down into the material. But pretty easy and straightforward. And then I'll just paint the top again with a little piece of green, and that'll make it to look like a teller mine that was on top. The other thing that I have here is a small little ramp that was made. So there's all kinds of different styles for these. I've seen ones where there's like 3 prongs going down, and then there's ones with just kind of double things coming out here. So lots of different options for the mines or the obstacles to use. But so anyways, what I've settled on is I finally found a way to make them. So I just bought this 1/2-inch hardware cloth, and then you get a ton of it. So you can make probably as many ramps as there were around the coast of France with just one piece. I then cut that down so that it looks like this. So I just kind of cut off a strip here and cut this strip off. Then I'm left with this T-shape. And then all I do is I come in and clip this in half, and then clip these in half as well, which ends up with just like a little cross shape. And then all I do is take a pair of needle nose and just bend those down if I have strong enough hands. Sometimes the area will break, the connection will break, but usually it doesn't. So for me, I think that is good enough. And so then you place that down. I come in and just clip it a little bit more, just so it's hanging off just a bit. So it's not exact. It's not exactly reproducing what they had there, but a lot of this is going to be underwater. So I'm going to cover this with about 1/2 inch of resin. That'll probably actually start to come up and cover some of these hedgehogs as well. But I do want some of this stuff coming out. And so some of these will be underwater. Some of them will be a lot of them will just have little pieces, bits and pieces. So I don't think that'll be as detailed as needed. So anyways, I'm happy with kind of how I came up with these various beach obstacles. I'm not going to mess with what they call, I think, the Belgian gate. Those were way back in here and covered up. So I'm kind of making this so that it's fairly high tide. So I think technically the high tide would have gotten up to past the hedgehogs even. And that was probably by like 8 or 9. So anyways, I hope that helps. And just thank our lucky stars that the guys back then were able and willing to do this and remember the dead on both sides on D-Day. So that's it. Talk to you later. Bye.